पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
Relief for the Yogi Adityanath government in Uttar Pradesh on the issue of local body elections, with the Supreme Court putting a freeze on the Allahabad High Court's order to hold urban body elections in the state by January without granting reservation to other backward classes. The Supreme Court has in fact asked the State Backward Commission to file a report on political backwardness of OBCs for giving quota in local bodies by the 31st of March. The state had challenged the High Court's order and told the Supreme Court that the OBC Commission had already been constituted and would complete its task by March. Alok Pandey joining us with the latest on that breaking story. Alok, explain all of this for us. What is this going to mean going ahead? And for the moment, why is this relief for the Adityanath government?
See, first of all, Ankita, if the Supreme Court had stayed the Allahabad High Court order and said that the commission should complete its work till the 31st of March, I think this is along expected lines because one really didn't expect that if the Yogi Adityanath government had gone to the Supreme Court, perhaps they would manage to argue their side of the story that they had formed a commission which was expected to give a report. I think it's also important for us to talk about the crux of the issue or what the issue actually is. So, local body polls or urban body polls to municipal corporations or to Nagar Palikas are due in Uttar Pradesh. Now, what happened a few days ago was that the Yogi Adityanath government had notified reservations to OBCs and to the scheduled castes in November. But in December, the Allahabad High Court, hearing a clutch of petitions against that notification, had basically said that, I'm putting this in very simplistic terms, that the government did not follow the correct procedure when it notified the reservations. Now, basically, there are two ways to do this. The way that the Adityanath government used was something called a rapid survey. A rapid survey is basically a head count of, there are so many OBCs, so we'll in a particular local body or a urban body, and we will hence notify a reservation accordingly. The High Court in its order said that no, this was not the correct way to do it because the Supreme Court has laid down a procedure. Now, according to the High Court, that procedure by the Supreme Court is something called a triple test, Ankita. So in a triple test, the government has to first set up a commission. Then that commission conducts a comprehensive survey on the nature of backwardness. And then it notifies reservations based on the commission's recommendations. The government does. And then the government also ensures that reservations do not exceed 50% of the total seats. So that's like a triple thing, a triple test. So that order was then challenged by the Adityanath government before the Supreme Court because the High Court said that you have to conduct the elections without OBC reservation. Now, that is something that is politically, of course, unwise in a state like Uttar Pradesh. You can't do it because more than half, or at least half the population in UP comprises of the other backward castes. And their support has been crucial to the BJP in these massive electoral victories that they've been having in the state starting the 2014 national election. And of course, you had the opposition jibes coming through, many top leaders, including Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav, called the BJP anti-OBC, etc. So, wary of all of that, the government had immediately formed a commission, headed by a retired judge, I think, and asked that commission to do the survey and to submit a report. And then the Supreme Court was also approached saying that this bit in the Allahabad High Court order that you have to conduct elections without that OBC quota should be stayed. And that is what has been stayed. So that, at least that bit is on expected lines.
Alok, thanks so much for joining us with all of those details.